Pinky Cross. Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I'm a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with a comeback reaction that's sure to be poppin', and we'll be reacting to On and Off.
Yes, so today we are reacting to On and Off's comeback that just happened called 여름 속 Popping. Obviously, we have watched the teasers leading up to this, all the photos and the videos, album spoiler, highlight, medley, whatever they call it nowadays. And we are very excited. So, that being said, let's go! Yeah, because they're like in some sort of winter land for a summer song.
We're back to the whole like On and Off storyline that's really interesting, but I'm like,
It's Korean subtitles, but it's English because they're singing English right now. It threw me off. What are they wearing? Is he playing golf?
Off of a mattress.
And playing it like it's baseball.
Yeah. What is it? What is it?
Well, I really like that line. Honestly, everything, this is just making me think of... Oh! I was trying to say earlier that this is making me think of, like, Complete music video.
Yeah, because it's bright.
Yeah. Well, also because they're dancing on a field.
Oh, I have a feeling it probably is related in that part of the storyline.
Oh, different. Oh, the astronaut! Oh! Is this connecting everything?
I love that part.
I also love that part, but the music part.
I love the music part too. The music part's what lets the dance be that cool.
Oh, I love the very intense water guns. Do you hear the background? Oh my god.
Part's a little creepy.
Oh, now it feels creepy after. Yeah.
Was that evil Hyojin?
Bad guy? Yeah, I mean, he's wearing all black and he looks kind of mean.
Did I pick the villain?
You would pick the villain.
They are so cute. They are really so cute. Anna's laughing at me because I was like, how do I start? Like, being serious, I was like, yeah, they're real cute. But I will come back to that later because I'm going to talk about the music video in a little bit. In terms of the dance, though, the phrase that comes to mind when I was watching it in the music video and then when I just watched the showcase stage was They are literally just riding the rhythm, like the whole time. It stuck out to me right from the very beginning when JS does his like doom 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 part and they're like hitting their bodies and they're literally like hitting their bodies around. And I was just like, wow, the musicality is impeccable, which I talk about in literally every single on and off reaction. I'm like, oh, the musicality, but it's especially prominent in this one. And I think the chorus takes riding the rhythm to a whole new level because the way that the chorus choreography is structured, like the actual moves that they are giving, I felt like I was literally just watching a sound wave. You remember in the Magic School Bus when they like ride the rhythm and you can like see the sound wave? That's literally what I felt like I was watching, because also the way their movement is structured is they are kind of going up and down on that like arc and then like down and then back up. It was just really, really fantastic. But also one thing that I found really impressive was there's so much choreography in the chorus, but because of how they're doing it, you wouldn't think so, if that makes sense. Like it's so relaxed and they're not really letting anything sit or settle. And so it looks very light and it looks very easy, but they're actually doing so much and they're doing so much jumping. And that brings me to something else, which is more like the quality of the dance. And so when I heard popping was the English title, I was like, so are they going to be doing a lot of like popping? The popping in this is less of that and more just like the isolations that they're doing, but they're lighter. Like I said, they don't let anything really sit for a very long time. The feeling that it was giving me was more of like a bubble bursting, like that sort of like that, yeah, like. And that's like the whole feeling of the dance, honestly. It's kind of bubbly. It gives the feeling of like you're full of air and it's bringing you up and up and up, and then it pops on an isolation and they like kind of come back down for a second before they refill with air, which made me think of the teasers. There are a couple of contrast sections to that sort of lighter feeling. Like the most obvious one is literally Wyatt's rap. That's the only time the dance settles and I was like, oh, they're matching his voice. But other than that, like it's super light, it's very bubbly. But back to the music video really quick. So they do look so cute, but then it gets so sad. And I literally told Anna that I had to check my expression at one point because I was like smiling and I was also kind of laughing at the fact they were wearing shorts in the middle of winter. And in my head, I was like, aren't they cold? But then it showed Wyatt laid out from the explosion and I was like, not an appropriate facial expression. On and off music videos are always so interesting because I recognize the parts of the storyline. I feel like at this point, as a fuse for over a year, I should be able to put it together, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Because with time travel and alternate timelines, everyone, you can make the rules up. It doesn't exist. But I think, like we were saying in the music video, it reminded both of us of Complete. It probably is at that point in the storyline, like towards the beginning, and then it's where the timelines collide and the rest of it happens, literally with the explosion. And I also think that was reinforced by evil Hyojin coming at the end, because then it shows good Hyojin and his heart is like sort of like light coming out of it, like they're connecting. I feel like we've just seen the timelines connect, but also smart fuses will probably let me know what it really is in the comments, so looking forward to that. Anna's turn! Oh, I really liked it, obviously. I feel like I don't need to say that when it comes to on and off, but Anna's turn!
Hello, so it's time for my comments, and I had to cut myself off, so we'll see how long I talk for. Let's start at the beginning. A very good place to start. Group singing low-key felt like a choir class warm-up that you would do, or like theater, or like a school or camp song. There are clap sounds that you hear in the background along with it, which help add to that feeling. It's on every beat. The ones on the 1 and 3 are like very quiet. It sounds like one person clapping, but on the 2 and 4, it sounds like multiple people clapping. So honestly, it made me think of like how there's always that one person that will clap wrong and they never fix it. It's a little pet peeve of mine. But moving on from that, I wanted to talk about the flute line. That is the main theme that really shines in the chorus. There's a lot of air in that sound, and it really brings this like sort of lightness, more whimsical feeling, I think, to the chorus. Also in the chorus, there's this like low-key guitar playing in the background that just has like, I don't want to say like jabby moments, but like you hear it on like when it's like doing the strong like sounds. The perk, obviously, you hear a lot of snare. There's some synth there too. Throughout the whole song, when you hear the bass, it's very punchy and not a sort of punch that like reverbs out, but like sort of sits there, which I think is interesting because I always associate those kinds of bass punchy sounds with like marching anthems. It's been that way, I feel like, in a lot of the more recent on and off songs, like the 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. It's sort of implied in the verses, but it outright just is hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 in the pre-chorus and the chorus. But one thing that I really love about on and off songs, they have a lot of little sound effects. If you know me, I love little details in music. There will be those whistle sounds comes in a moment of silence, except it happens multiple times throughout the song, and I'm pretty sure like each whistle sound is different. Also, like specifically going into the second chorus that they don't have going into the first chorus, there's this like sort of guitar slide down, so it primes your ear to focus and listen for the guitar sounds in the second chorus in case you miss it in the first chorus. So I think things like that are just so cool. But now I really need to talk about the bridge, because the background vocals in the bridge are gorgeous and beautiful. So many different lines and layers, and obviously it's like bringing a different style to the song. But I was thinking, do you think they would do like an acapella version of this? I think it's possible. No? Okay. Anyways.
Maybe though, because they got so popular for acapella and pew pew.
Yeah, I would take even just an acapella version of the bridge. After the bridge, I didn't say it in the reaction, but there is a modulation up, so like a key change up by a whole step. The reason why the transition doesn't feel as awkward is because it's after Hyojin high note, and there's like silence at the very end of the high note, so it can just come up. Also, the reason why it feels less awkward is because before the final chorus, they do that like intro group singing thing again. So instead of like immediately going back to the chorus, which you just heard before the bridge, so it's like more familiar to your ear, they're going back to something that you haven't heard since the very beginning of the song. Oh wait, I didn't get to say one thing. It's fine. It was basically about how like the music video references their like other songs, but like in the song too, I feel like it references their other music as well.
Mm-hmm. And they do in the lyrics too.
Yeah. But now I'm done. I also liked it. Okay, now I'm done. But TLDR is ON앤오프 is back with a new release, summer comeback. We loved it. Nothing new. They're amazing. Musicality, great music, great dancing. Wow. Cool.
But that being said, if you also love ON앤오프, love this release, and want to keep talking about it, then come find us over on our socials, because we're super pumped to talk more about it. They're linked in the cards. If you enjoyed this reaction video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!